With man, I like this nigga. Focus, we both tap out the reach of the
His next fight isn't until a little more than a month from now. In the meantime, he had a party at his house with some friends and family, including Floyd Mayweather, Terence Crawford, and Andre Ward. There are rumors that the Newark champion held the party to celebrate his new deal with Matchroom Boxing Promotions. This isn't completely true, but it is true that Shakur Stevenson did have a party over the weekend, and Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford were there. To his shame, Shakur Stevenson made a terrible mistake by putting the two heavyweight boxers in the same room. They started arguing and almost started punching each other. Well, it wasn't hard to figure out why they fought. There was a lot of fun going on at Shakur Stevenson's house with Terence Crawford, Andre Ward, and other family members. There were also some fighters from the Matchroom stables there. When Floyd Mayweather walked in, almost all of the fighters jumped up to greet him, except for Terence Crawford, who didn't like how Mayweather responded when he talked about his fight with Israel Madrimov.
It was totally different, but you know, with these two guys fighting,
Floyd Mayweather wasn't welcomed by Terence Crawford, and Mayweather even tried to give him money, but Crawford ignored him. Mayweather followed up by telling him, "You think you're everything now, right? You're now the main guy. It's still my time, bro." Crawford then told him to stop criticizing other people's wins and pay attention to himself instead. This forced Mayweather closer to him, but he couldn't move so close to cause damage before others got into their midst to separate them.
You know, I can't really speak on it. I don't really want to speak on that fight because I don't want to take nothing away from Terence Crawford.
There was little to nothing Shakur Stevenson could do about the fight, and the pair just had to stay in different parts of the house to avoid more complications. This must be a very difficult situation for Shakur Stevenson, especially given how much he respects and adores the pair. Terence Crawford and Shakur Stevenson share a brotherly bond with each other. It has been obvious on multiple occasions.
Rule in the ring with Bud over the years. I remember my first time sparring him. He played with me. That was my first time being in the ring.
At the time when Crawford fought against Errol Spence Jr., Stevenson always believed in his friend, and Crawford also feels similarly, especially when Stevenson was getting battered online for fighting too defensively against Edwin de los Santos. At that time, Bud consoled Stevenson and asked him not to pay attention to the bad comments regarding his performance. Even in their latest post, they showcased their cordial relationship as they sparred together for their possible matchups coming soon.
They had their way with me, and they did whatever they want, and then over the years, I just kept coming back. And every time I see him, like, yo, we sparring, like, every time.
Undefeated lightweight Shakur Stevenson is known for his confidence. He's called out boxing legends like Canelo Alvarez and Floyd Mayweather, thinking he could de-emerge victorious, but even champions have their humbling times. Stevenson, currently holding both the WBO and WBC 130 pounds titles, recently shared a surprising truth. He's been dominated in sparring at that time. Bud consoled Stevenson and asked him not to pay attention to the bad comments regarding his performance.
I see so many pictures and videos of me and Bud in the ring because it's like, I just wanted to keep pushing myself with a guy that I know is the truth. And
even in their most recent post, they demonstrated their friendly relationship as they sparred together in preparation for their upcoming undefeated lightweight matches. Shakur Stevenson is known for his confidence. He's called out boxing legends like Canelo Alvarez and Floyd Mayweather, thinking he could emerge victorious, but even champions have their humbling times. Stevenson, currently holding both the World Boxing Organization and World Boxing Council 130 pounds titles, recently shared a surprising truth. He's been dominated in sparring.
basically we start talking back and forth. This is like the beginning of me and Bud, like even like just getting around each other. This is how we really became super cool. So
this isn't a fight loss or a public defeat. It's a behind-the-scenes reminder that even the best get trying. That's how Sugar described his experience of trading jabs with the former undisputed champion. He wrote,
to actually learn that I'm not the best. Like I gotta me right now. Like so I get in the ring game. Man, this dude got to beating me up. Like we only sparred.
GOAT gave me 11 rounds of his flight today. and then it was fireworks. He raised my game to another level and admired the "you for life champ" # chasing greatness. In addition, even Terence Crawford posted about their time together.
I'm on my way to the gym and I go pull up on him. When I pull up on him, he's in there, he about to spark. So I'm like, yo, you gonna give me some rounds? I'm talking so crazy, like. And this is one of the one times that...
Last year, Shakur Stevenson mentioned how he once sparred with Terence Crawford almost 8 years ago, and he described it as the worst bum whooping I ever had as a boxer.
People talk bad about Floyd Mayweather. People talk bad about me. People talk bad about Ali. People won't talk bad about the great ones. You know, they want him to...
Now, after almost 9 years, Stevenson and Crawford indulged in a sparring match yet again. Interestingly, Crawford was also joined by another boxer friend. In his latest post, he added multiple shots from the training camp. In the description, Crawford wrote, he hopped off the plane and got some crazy rounds in with the little brothers, Shakur Stevenson, Zaki Moses. If I told you how many rounds I did, you probably wouldn't believe me. Crawford era.
They want him to sit in front of a guy and slug it out with him so they can say, oh, that was a great fight. That was a wonderful fight. Shakur Stevenson.
So as per the claim, Crawford instantly went to the gym after his flight, and even after that, he didn't spar with one boxer, but two of them. So Stevenson thinks that Crawford is currently the best boxer, and it's his privilege to share the ring with him. Also, Stevenson shares a very similar friendship with Mayweather, and necessarily the love is well reciprocated.
Ladies, we need to take our money and invest in real estate so that we can live that same great life when our careers are over. So
Floyd was asked about the top 5 fighters in the lightweight division, and he replied that as of right now, well, the two guys, the biggest puncher I feel at 135 will probably be Gervonta Davis, but the most skilled fighter will be hands down. Shakur Stevenson.
the best they got out there. He's asking, can he fight the best? I believe his contract is...
Talking about Shakur Stevenson, Floyd Mayweather compared his skillfulness to Pernell Whitaker, who wasn't the biggest puncher, but had the skill set to take on the best 10 get the better of them. I think his contract is coming to an end, so hopefully we can come together and I can take him to the levels that he needs and make the fights happen that he wants.
And so hopefully we can come together and I can take him to that next level and give him the fights that he wants and make the fights happen that he wants.
They then moved on and continued with Gervonta. Tank Davis asked if Gervonta's recent acts show him ungrateful. He answered, my thing is, I've always been there for him. From day one, we had a game plan, and my game plan was to help him become the world champion and take Tank to that next level. And I've always been there for him.
Is ungrateful when it comes to you?
Well, my thing is, I've always been there for him from day one. We had a game plan, and my game plan was to...
Over the years, I've always been positive, always said great things about him, always pushed him to be great. But over the years, he's constantly going on the internet to take a shot at Floyd, constantly being disrespectful, and all I've ever been was respectful to try to help this fighter go as far as he could possibly go. That's all I ever did.
I've always been there for him. And just over the years, you can see I've always been positive, always said great things about him, always pushed him to be great. And
he then mentioned the famous video in which Gervonta Davis accused him of sending an attack. He denied Gervonta Davis's claims and explained his intentions, saying a lot of times they like to compare certain fighters, and then I say certain things, and they say, oh, he's hating. There's no change from when I talked about the thing with Gervonta.
I need all fighters. I said I need all the young fighters that's making money in the sport of boxing. What I need you guys to do is do this.
Instance, well, I said that I need all the young fighters making money in the sport of boxing, and what I need you guys to do is do this whether it's Chomat, Lewis, Mercedes, Gucci. We need to take our money and put in real estate so that we can live the same great life when our careers are over. So I guess he took that as he's the only one that wears Chromat. He's the only one that wears Louis Vuitton. He's the only one that wears Mercedes. Last time I checked, we've got fighters all over the world that wear top-flight clothes that make good money. Even the fighters that don't make good money find a way to fly jets and flight webs.
Chrome Heart, Gucci, Louis, Mercedes. We need to take our money and invest in real estate so that we can live that same great life when our careers are over. So
Floyd Mayweather recently stepped back into the ring for another practice match. This time, he met Gotti 3, a highly anticipated rematch. The fight held in Mexico City wasn't short on excitement. Fans remember their first clash, which finished in chaos. Despite the bout being an exhibition, feelings ran high. Mayweather has always controlled the pace and displayed his defensive skills. Gotti tried to push him but struggled to make an effect right after the match. Shakur Stevenson took to Instagram to share a snippet of his private exchange with Floyd Mayweather, clearly in of the experienced performance. Stevenson posted "Still the best I've ever seen," to which Mayweather warmly replied, "Thanks little TBE." Shakur Stevenson reveals his private messages with Floyd Mayweather after a heated exhibition fight. Discover what was said and join the discussion. Floyd Mayweather recently stepped back into the ring for another practice match. This time he faced Gotti in a highly awaited rematch. The fight held in Mexico City wasn't short on excitement. Fans remember their first clash, which finished in chaos. Would this return be any different? Could Mayweather still show his power in his late 40s? Despite the bout being an exhibition, feelings ran high. Mayweather, as always, controlled the pace and displayed his defensive LLs. Gotti tried to push him but struggled to make an effect right after the match. Shakur Stevenson took to Instagram to share a snippet of his private chat with Floyd Mayweather, clearly in of the veteran's performance. Stevenson posted "Still the best I've ever seen," to which Mayweather warmly replied, "Thanks little TB." Stevenson didn't stop there. He hinted at future partnerships by adding, "We're going to get some money together one day, FS, but he's the best to ever do it for sure. I appreciate this dude big time. Y'all hate him because y'all envy him for chasing greatness." Meanwhile, the rematch itself had its quirks, especially when Mayweather demanded a switch in referees early in the second round. The original referee made a controversial call after a punch from Mayweather hit behind Gotti's head, a result of Gotti lowering his head during an exchange. Mayweather protested strongly, leading to an unexpected and dramatic mid-match change in officials. This move kept the bout on track, steering clear of the chaos that marred their first meeting. It was a decisive moment, ensuring that the focus stay on the technique and sportsmanship that fans expect from such high-profile matches. In the final round of the bout, Mayweather was seen trolling Gotti. Although there was no official winner announced, Dean made sure to let everyone know that Floyd Mayweather won the match when the action took an unexpected turn when the referee was changed mid-fight. Frustrated with the officiating, Mayweather was seen telling the referee to shut up and move as the official wasn't willing to listen to his protests. The 10 didn't end there. Gotti was also being held back from engaging with Mayweather, which led to one of his team members walking into the ring amid the confusion. The referee suddenly left and was replaced by another official, letting the match to continue without further incident. The mid-fight judge swap didn't sit well with everyone. Henry Garcia, the father of box's Ryan Garcia, criticized the move, saying Mayweather's financial clout influenced the change. "When you don't have the way, money will take you the rest of the way." He commented on Don's footage and further added it was just an exhibition, not even a good one. Despite the fact that boxing fans have severally drawn comparisons between Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford but in the past and refused to deprive the 50-year-old boxing champion of his rightful honors, Terence Crawford used to respect Floyd Mayweather, and when he was asked about their similarities, he had a few more things to say as well. "He's the king." Crawford praised and recognized Floyd's greatness. He then continued, "We have quite a lot in common in some areas, but we're a little different because I take more chances earlier in his career." He was taking a lot of chances in his career as well.
I think, I take more chances.
Excuse me, Crawford.
Right now, but earlier.
Just depends on which Floyd Mayweather you're talking about. I mean, you're talking about money or you're talking about Pretty Boy, because Pretty Boy was the seeking destroyer, then he started having hand injuries, so he couldn't really keep up with the same power and he was moving up and fighting bigger. Like Crawford said, they have quite a lot in common. However, boxing fans and supporters have compared both fighters to discover the better fighter and when they did. A news source put Crawford as the likelier winner of a fight between the two fighters. When it comes to pure boxing ability, you'd be hard-pressed to find another producer of more sweet science masterclass than Floyd Mayweather. The crisp jab, precision, timing, and counter-punching ability all empowered Mayweather to pick his long list of opponents apart, and he did it over 2 iterations of himself. Just as Crawford said, pretty boy Floyd was the more aggressive boxer, bringing to fight 2 opponents, while Money Mayweather years later would compute and edge opponents out with brilliant boxing. Whichever style you prefer, both body of work made the legend, and that is Floyd Mayweather. Comparatively, boxing fans are still in awe of what Crawford did to Spence in his last fight, whether it was a power jab that he repeatedly snapped through Spence's guard punching in traffic, or the timing of his counter punches. It exhibited supreme boxing ability, and it wasn't the first time, but we've never seen it like that against a fighter of Spence's caliber. When talking about pure boxing ability, arguably nobody should get a push over Mayweather, but Crawford's style of boxing is different, yet effective, even explosive in his own right. So how would their boxing stack up if Crawford would fight Mayweather in his prime and use his lasering shots against Mayweather's focused sweet science? Who would assert the jab first, and who would be the more effective counter-puncher? There are so many ways to see this play out that it might be best to call this category an or draw. How many times have we watched Mayweather lull and eventually lure his opponents to the middle of the ring, where he computed information, analyzed it, and uploaded a blueprint to pick his opponent's TS apart? Mayweather took his ring IQ and mantra of hit and not get hit, and basically wrote it to the Hall of Fame as an undefeated 5-division world champion. Crawford, in being crowned undisputed at junior welterweight and now welterweight, has shown a high ring IQ himself throughout his career. Mayweather showed handspeak, especially on the counter-punching end, but Crawford slashing angles and whiplashing delivery, but owning the edge in speed of Mayweather, where 50 wins, 27 came by way of knockout. That's in comparison to Crawford's 40 wins, 31 of them coming via knockout, and he's still working now. Re-enter Crawford's wizardry over Spence, dropping him 3 times en route to a dominant 9th-round TKO, decimating a power-punching, body-snatching fighter like Spence, who gradually broke down Kell broke Sean Porter and your Dennis August to become the joint world welterweight champion. Was anything but easy.
Look at this Spence, unbelievable. To young boxing fans that are watching Floyd Mayweather, you're seeing one of the greatest.
Yet Crawford made it look easy, and his power was a big reason why Mayweather painted in the corner, raising that shoulder into the Philly shell and taking shots with his arm, while using his free hand to pick his punches. Defensive boxing turned counter-punching at its very best. Crawford has some good defense to him as well, but Mayweather took defensive boxing skills to another level of damn near perfection. All thought up how Crawford against a prime Mayweather fight would actually go and who would win.
You're where and then he's nowhere. You think you... And again, it's not just hand quickness, it's the movement of the head, the way he rolls with punches.
After a tease first round, where each boxer is trying to feel out the other, we see Crawford being the more active and busy fighter early on, launching and landing shots, even if many of them are absorbed by Mayweather's shoulder and elbow. By the middle rounds, Mayweather's style would set in as he'd pepper Crawford with jabs, banking some rounds, yet with a constant flow of pressure. Crawford's firepower could get to Mayweather even enough to hurt the legend at times, as close as we see this one being. Crawford's fighting ability and those whiplashing punches might be just enough to have judges credit him on his pressure and volume en route to a points win over Mayweather's brand of boxing. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.